BCCI honours the team with 51 crore reward. Prime Minister Modi to meet the champions on Wednesday. From Prime Minister Modi to President Murmu, cricketers to celebrities, all of India unites in praise for the World Cup winning team. Prime Minister Modi hails the women in blue for their historic World Cup win, says when women are given opportunities and support, they go on to script history. Congratulates parents of Team India players for supporting their dream. A fiery face-off ensues in battleground Bihar. Prime Minister Modi rains fire on RJD and Congress, says their dictionary is filled with katta and corruption. Congress's very own alleged ticket chori within the Grand Old Party. Former Minister and Haryana MLA Sampath Singh quits the party, levels serious allegations against senior Congress leaders in Haryana, claims loyalists fielded as independents to ensure defeat of party candidates in 2024. Shashi Tharoor slams Dynasty politics as a grave threat to democracy, says for decades one family towered over Indian politics. Now Dynasty succession prevails across the political spectrum. India's enemies put on notice. Exercise Trishul is underway, the biggest tri-service drill in the Arabian Sea. We're just 3 days away from the first phase of elections in Bihar. The battle is heating up. Prime Minister Modi, he's on campaign trail today, has renewed his attack on the Mahagathbandhan, the RJD and the Congress combined, taking a swipe at Lalu Prasad Yadav for celebrating Halloween with his grandchildren. The Prime Minister said that opposition parties celebrate festivals that are marked worldwide, but insult Chhath Puja. In Katihar, Prime Minister Modi attacked the Mahagathbandhan, claiming that the Congress does not want the RJD to win, and that's why they are insulting the Chhath Puja and traditions of Bihar. Escalating the attack, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath too targeted the India bloc, calling its leaders three monkeys, accusing them of undermining Bihar's security. All of these attacks were met with equal rebuttals from the opposition camp.
साथियों, कांग्रेस का शाही परिवार, आरजेडी का शाही परिवार दुनिया भर के त्योहार मनाते हैं और विदेशी त्योहार मनाने में उनको मजा आती है। जब छठ महापर्व की आती है तो ये लोग क्या कहते हैं? छठ महापर्व हमारे लिए कितना बड़ा गर्व का, अभिमान का अवसर है। ये कहते हैं ये छठ वाले तो ये सब ड्रामा कर रहे, ड्रामा। आरजेडी और कांग्रेस, इनकी डिक्शनरी में कट्टा, क्रूरता, कटुता, कुसंस्कार, कुशासन और करप्शन ऐसे ही शब्द भरे पड़े हैं। गठबंधन को बहुत बड़ी ताकत देने वाला एनडीए के जो साथी हैं, जो इस चुनाव के मैदान में एकजुट होकर लड़ रहे हैं, उनको विजयी बनाना है। और दूसरी तरफ जो जंगल राज वाले हैं, उनको ऐसा पराजय देना है, ऐसा पराजय देना है कि वो बिहार का कभी बुरा सोच भी न सके। आपका वोट एनडीए की सरकार को मजबूती देने वाला है और इसलिए सभी नौजवान बेटे बेटी जो पहली बार वोट डाल रहे हैं, उनको मेरा विशेष आग्रह है कि इस बार आपका वोट एनडीए की सरकार बनाने वाला वोट होना चाहिए। जो इतने बड़े उनके लिए नेता थे, जिनके परिवार के सारे लोग चुनाव के मैदान में हैं, और फिर ये छुपा छुपाई क्यों हो रही है? अरे अपने पिता का नाम बोलने में, छुपाने में शर्म क्यों आ रही है? छठ महापर्व को इसलिए भी ड्रामा बताया ताकि बिहार के लोग आरजेडी पर गुस्सा उतारे और आरजेडी को पराजित करे, इसलिए ऐसी बातें बोली जा रही है।
बिहार के चुनाव के बारे में अगर बोलते थे, मैं वही बातें बोलता था। अब वो पुरानी अपनी बात भूल गए, कांग्रेस की बातें ही करते हैं। अभी डिमोनेटाइजेशन भूल गए, काला धन लाने का भूल गए, 2 करोड़ नौकरी देने का भूल गए, एमएसपी भूल गए। ये सब झूठे वायदे उन्होंने पहले जो किए थे उसको ही वो कर नहीं पाए। और आज फिर मैं पेपर में भी पढ़ा, कल वो भाषण में भी बोले, हम 1 करोड़ नौकरियां देंगे। अरे बाबा, 2 करोड़ नौकरियां हर साल देने का वायदा नहीं आपने पूरा नहीं किया। 11 साल प्राइम मिनिस्टर रहे, 20 साल नीतीश साहब रहे, आप दोनों मिलके यहाँ पर हुकूमत किए, आपको देने का नहीं हुआ, फिर आप झूठा वायदा करते हो।
Payal, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more on this. Payal, even as we see the personal attacks coming in from both sides, what really matters are issues that change the lives of people, and both parties are trying to woo certain sections. This whole MY factor, as is often spoken of when we speak of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, that now has new meaning. Youth and Mahila have been the focus of both sides.
Well, of course, I remember very clearly right after the Lok Sabha election in 2024 when the Prime Minister met Chirag Paswan and his party MPs. He said, you have the opportunity of making this into a new MY in Bihar, and he said, Mahila and Yuva should clearly be your focus. That seems to be taking center stage as far as Bihar is really concerned. The Prime Minister, in fact, talking about the welfare of the people, especially of the women as well, and therefore this jibe which is being taken at the opposition parties, especially Tejasvi Yadav, in the wake of what has been said by Rahul Gandhi that Prime Minister was doing Nautanki on the occasion of Chhat. Chhat is extremely sacrosanct when it comes to any Bihari. The sentiments are, only palpable. And, for the Prime Minister to be humiliated in this manner by Rahul Gandhi by calling him and saying that he's ready to dance at every tune, that's completely uncalled for. That's the argument that's come in from the BJP, that the women of the state will show, the Congress party will show the RJD what they really mean. Dignity is very, very crucial for anybody, leave aside women who actually are said to be the strength as far as any welfare and development are really concerned as well. Gone are the days when women are considered to be second fiddle. They are as important as anybody else. And after 2020, Poonam, I realized very, very clearly that 2020 was when the women actually showed that they did not tell people where they voted for, but they actually make that landmark change when it came to, what they could really mean. But after that, we've seen state after state taking that empowerment of women to a different level, because they've been crucially been able to understand that yes, women are a driving force as far as anything is concerned.
Now, what about this Jungle Raj narrative that the BJP, the Prime Minister himself has been talking about, that if the Mahagathbandhan was to come back to power, then it would be reminiscent of the times that we have seen in the past. Is that something that still resonates with voters on ground? What have you found during your travels in the state?
Well, actually speaking about the strategy that the BJP and the NDA had adopted, very rarely will you see them naming any leader. The style of the Prime Minister has been very clear that he will, talk about you and, in fact, pull you up for actually having made certain mistakes like Jungle Raj without really naming you as well. So that's been the argument. But it's been a strategy of the BJP to go to every village of Bihar and tell people what Jungle Raj really meant. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even in 2020 and even now, has said that the generation of today, Poonam, do not really know what Jungle Raj really was. Women could not travel outside their house after afternoon because they would be at the risk of, getting attacked, either physically or, probably extortion could really happen, even if you bought a new car, etc. as well. So that's something which has been there and that can actually return. So people of the state of Bihar need to understand that they are on the path of development, thanks to the good governance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi there in the centre. And of course, what Nitish Kumar promises and has been delivering over the last 20 years as a Chief Minister. Remember, he's a 9-time Chief Minister of Bihar, and that's no mean achievement. So that journey needs to continue, and Bihar needs to stay away from the perils of what they witnessed in the past. That's been a strategic campaign by the BJP and the NDA. Jungle Raj is something which is going to hurt the opposition for a very long time. No matter what Tejasvi Yadav does, he cannot disassociate himself from his father.
Right, Payal, thank you so much for putting that in perspective for us. It is the fag end of campaigning before the first phase of elections, which takes place on Thursday, which is the 6th of November. More reactions, of course, pouring in as this campaign reaches the fever pitch. Let's listen in to some of those.
बहन और भाइयों, आपने गांधी जी के 3 बंदरों के बारे में सुना होगा, लेकिन आज इंडी गठबंधन के 3 और बंदर आ गए। ये 3 बंदर पप्पू, टप्पू और अप्पू के नाम पर पप्पू, टप्पू और अप्पू के नाम पर पप्पू सच बोल नहीं सकता, अच्छा बोल नहीं सकता, टप्पू अच्छा देख नहीं सकता और अप्पू सच सुन नहीं सकता।
हनुमान जी का अपमान कर रहे हैं, योगी हैं। सोचिए योगी हनुमान जी का अपमान करे, अब इसमें क्या ही बोलें। जनता देख रही है, जनता सुन रही है।
केशव जी, प्रधानमंत्री ने कल जनता को बताया कि जंगल राज क्या था। उन्होंने कहा कि कट्टे के दम पे जो है वो कांग्रेस और आरजेडी के बीच में बातचीत हुई थी। तेजस्वी यादव का पलटवार है कि प्रधानमंत्री ऐसी भाषा बोलते हैं, उनको सूट नहीं करती।
अच्छा, कट्टा वालों को कट्टा वाला नहीं कहा जाएगा, बम वालों को बम वाला नहीं कहा जाएगा, AK-47 लेकर के घूमने वाले अपराधियों को अपराधी नहीं कहा जाएगा, तो क्या उनको साधु संत कहा जाएगा? अगर राष्ट्रीय जनता दल का यह इतिहास है और कांग्रेस उसके दबाव में उनको मुख्यमंत्री पद का प्रत्याशी घोषित किया है, तो जितनी जो दोषी राष्ट्रीय जनता दल है, श्री लालू यादव का परिवार है, उतने दोषी कांग्रेस और श्री राहुल गांधी जी का परिवार, गांधी परिवार भी है।
उनका ये कहना है कि प्रधानमंत्री एक तरफ गुजरात में फैक्ट्रियों की बात करते हैं और बिहार में कैसी बातें करते हैं।
देखिए, फैक्ट्री तो बिहार में भी लगेगी और फैक्ट्री गुजरात में भी लगेगी, फैक्ट्री देश के हर राज्य में लगेगी, क्योंकि हर राज्य के युवा को हर राज्य में रोजगार उपलब्ध कराना है। लेकिन इसका जवाब इनको देना पड़ेगा कि फैक्ट्री बिहार में बंद क्यों हुई, फैक्ट्री वाले बिहार में क्यों निवेश नहीं कर रहे थे। ये तो निवेश की शुरुआत अब शुरू हुई है जब श्री नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व में एनडीए की सरकार है। अब लोगों को लगता है कि हम निवेश करेंगे तो हमारा निवेश भी सुरक्षित रहेगा और हम भी सुरक्षित रहेंगे।
तो प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो समय है वो रोजगार दिलवाने में, विकास लाने में, बड़े बड़े उद्योगों को लगवाने में लगना चाहिए। इसीलिए मेरा सुझाव ये है कि वो एक नया मंत्रालय बना दें और उसका नाम रखें अपमान मंत्रालय। और जब आप अपनी नौकरी, अपने रोजगार के लिए धरना प्रदर्शन करोगे और उनको लगेगा कि देश का अपमान हो रहा है क्योंकि कोई सवाल उठा रहा है, तो अपमान मंत्रालय बुला ले आपको। और इस अपमान मंत्रालय में मेरा यह भी सुझाव है कि मेरे परिवार के बारे में जितनी इन्होंने गालियां दी और जितना उल्टा सीधा बोला उसका भी रिकॉर्ड रखा जाए। एक लाइब्रेरी पूरी बन जाएगी किताबों की, भर देंगे उनको।
Congress Member of Parliament Shashi Tharoor has written an article criticizing dynasty politics, saying it poses a grave threat to India's democracy. Tharoor says that apart from the Gandhis leading the Congress, there are similar situations in multiple states. He takes the example of DMK in Tamil Nadu, BJD in Odisha, Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh and Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. He says it's high time India traded dynasty for meritocracy. This would require fundamental reforms, he says, from imposing legally mandated term limits to requiring meaningful internal party elections, together with a concerted effort to educate and empower the electorate to choose leaders based on merit. This article has now triggered a political furor because many see this as a message of Shashi Tharoor to the Congress party, one that he has sent multiple times in the past as well. But is the Congress listening to these kind of messages coming from within? That's the big question. Neetu, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Neetu, this article, of course, would have created some flutter because not only is Shashi Tharoor talking about his own party, he's also talking about many of their allies and how dynasty politics rules there.
That's correct. And the timing of the article also, when the campaign for the Bihar elections is on in full swing, that is when this article is coming out. And we know that the BJP has been attacking the Congress on this front at multiple times, not just the Congress, but even their alliance partners. So that's when Shashi Tharoor, an MP of the Congress, writing an article like this. And he says that this is not really good for democracy. It needs to change. dynasty politics shouldn't be, your surname shouldn't be what decides whether you get the seat or whether you control the power. So that is what the article talks about. He has mentioned about Mayawati as well as Mamata Banerjee, also stating that even when they don't have direct heirs, their nephews have already been appointed as heirs for these parties. So this is something time and again the BJP has raised against the Congress. And if you look at Shashi Tharoor also, in the past there has been several comments that Tharoor has made which has not gone well within the party, within the national leadership as well as the state leadership of the party. But what we are seeing this time is that the leaders, at least in the state level, they're not responding to these articles. They're not commenting on these articles and giving it further hype on his comments. We have seen several times that Tharoor's statements have put the Congress party in this spot.
Any response from the Congress party, at least from Kerala? Because even within the Kerala unit, Neetu, Shashi Tharoor and many others within the Grand Old Party don't see eye to eye.
That's correct. Earlier, there were issues between Tharoor and the party leadership, the state party leadership also. And on a by-election day itself, Tharoor had said on Nilambur by-election day that he was not invited for the campaigning. And then Congress party came out and said that he was in the star campaigners list, but he was out of the country on other commitments. That is when he led the delegation to US and other countries. So that is why he didn't campaign for that. So the difference of opinion with the state leadership also has been made in public, but as what we are seeing right now is that the leaders are choosing to not respond to this article that has come in. This question was posed to opposition leader V.D. Satishan, but he did not respond to this article of Shashi Tharoor.
Right, Neetu, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. In yet another move against the special intensive revision of electoral rolls, 44 parties passed a resolution to move the Supreme Court to express their opposition to this pan-India exercise. This after Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin chaired a meeting with all parties against this pan-India implementation. In its resolution, the meeting alleged that the exercise was anti-democracy and went against the interests of the people of Tamil Nadu especially. It cited that the Supreme Court was yet to deliver its verdict on the issue of the Bihar SIR. The resolution accused the poll panel of acting as a puppet of the BJP-led government at the centre, even claiming that the revision would strip minorities and opposition-leaning voters of their franchise. This meeting expressed doubts over the hurried manner in which this SIR exercise is being conducted.
Get the direction from the Supreme Court, because there is many problems which we have expressed, and the matter is before the court. Let the court give its final order, let the court give its direction. After that you can continue with the SIR. That is what we wanted. That is the resolution. The intention of the resolution is that the election commissioner should not do anything in SIR on their own account.
I think they don't have any other work other than this, to object whatever the election commission does. They think that the election commission does whatever the government say. It is not so. This is, election commission is an independent body which very clearly says special intention revision, because intensive revision, because the elections have to be conducted very smoothly. If somebody, including the son of Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, Udayanithi Stalin, it is because of his innocence. It is because of his innocence, immaturity that he is talking about against the SIR.
Yes, we are going to approach the Supreme Court. We are going to approach the Supreme Court. We don't want SIR.
Why we are opposing means this is being implemented with ulterior motive. This is not SIR. This is indirectly letting in NRC. They want to do some mischief in this. Therefore, the details, the questions put forth by the Election Commission, if you go through, it is definite.
This meeting has been very purposeful and is a success. So under the stewardship of our Honorable Chief Minister, what decision has been taken is all the political parties should file their cases in the Supreme Court. Before that, they should consult DMK legal wing. So there should not be any contradiction. So that is the decision we have taken.
Pallavi, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details on this. Pallavi, we've seen this kind of opposition come to the fore from different states, especially West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, which go to elections next year. The process has already been kicked in motion as far as the poll panel goes. Are we going to be seeing a legal hurdle being mounted either by the DMK or the TMC in the near future?
Well, they would certainly want this to become a hurdle. They would certainly want that the SIR exercise is put a halt to. That's the reason why they've decided to go to the Supreme Court. But we've seen what the Supreme Court has been saying as far as the SIR, even in Bihar, is concerned, not wanting to get involved, saying it's up to the state government, and the state government also needs to cooperate with the Election Commission wherever this voter regulation system happens. But as we understand, there are 12 states where the SIR exercise is going to begin from tomorrow, and Bengal, Tamil Nadu are two key states which are going to see intensive battle between the BJP and the opposition. In this case, being the Trinamool Congress in Bengal, in the DMK as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. Poonam, so it's of course going to be an intensive battle between the two sides, and therefore the entire SIR exercise has also now taken a political turn. What the opposition parties are saying is very clear-cut, that this is ultra-vires of the constitution. This is something which should be rejected, and the only recourse they have is to go to a court. Of course, the Election Commission says that we are non-partisan body, and the BJP is also saying so. And the Election Commission says that SIR exercises are keeping on happening periodically because voters' list needs to be updated. So it's going to be mired in a lot of politics on both the sides. And I see this building up as we inch closer and closer to elections in 2026.
And those are at least as far as these two states are concerned. But if a united opposition were to come together as far as a pan-India exercise goes, the legal hurdles for that would be much greater. But the fact of the matter is this exercise is going to take place until, of course, the court steps in and stops it altogether. And even till that time, like I said, the ball has already been set in motion. So what is it that the state governments plan to do? Because they will have to work with Election Commission officials and get the work done on ground.
And so it's both legal as well as political, Poonam. Legally, they've approached the Supreme Court. So they're going to wait to see if the Supreme Court orders any kind of stricture. For example, the Aadhaar card being accepted as proof of identity was a victory which was fronted by the opposition parties, particularly the Trinamool Congress. So legally speaking, approaching the court is one strategy. The second strategy is fighting it on the street. For example, in Bengal, Trinamool Congress has made it clear that Mamata Banerjee is going to lead this march against SIR, which she says is divisive in nature. It is systematically targeting one particular community or vote bank. And as far as Tamil Nadu goes, I think we're going to see a similar play out happening on the ground as well, where they're essentially going to say that the BJP uses the Election Commission so as to win elections.
Right, of course, we'll have to see how this pans out from here on. For the moment, though, Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Shifting focus to a tragic incident that has come to the fore. A class 4 student died after falling from the 4th floor of a private school in Jaipur in Rajasthan. Police said that a preliminary investigation suggested that the girl allegedly died by suicide. The CCTV footage that is being examined from the school, officials say, will determine the sequence of events that led to the girl's death. The victim was rushed to a nearby hospital after she fell from the 4th floor, where doctors declared her dead on arrival. The police had also added that the exact reason behind the girl's death will only be determined after the investigation is complete.
जयपुर की निर्जा मोदी स्कूल में छात्रा की मौत आखिर कैसे हुई? ऊपर से कूदी या धक्का दिया गया? अभी तक की जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज और जो प्रारंभिक जांच आ रही है उसमें सामने आ रहा है कि छात्रा नीचे से यानी ग्राउंड फ्लोर से ऊपर 6ठी मंजिल पे गई, अकेली गई और कूदी। अब देखिए कि ये तस्वीर देखिए, यहाँ से गई थी, यहाँ अभी एफएसएल की टीम यहाँ जांच कर रही है, यहाँ से गई है और ऊपर देखिए कि 6ठी मंजिल, यहाँ से सीधे ऊपर गई और ऊपर से आप देखिए कि बालकनी नजर आ रही है, वहाँ से छात्रा ऊपर स्टेयर पे चढ़ी है, यानी कि बालकनी के आप देखिए कि ऊपर और ऊपर इस तरीके की ये है रेलिंग, उसको रेलिंग उप से कूदी, यहाँ से इस तरीके से और चलकर गई है हर मंजिल से। सीसीटीवी हर मंजिल पे सीसीटीवी कैमरे हैं जिसमें साफ तौर पर तस्वीर साफ नजर आई। आप देखिए कि ये मार्क किया, यहाँ से उसके जो निशान है, ये एफएसएल ने जो निशान लिए ये मार्क किए हुए पूरे बाकायदा, कि यहाँ से वो चल कर गई है और यहीं गिरी है, नीचे गिरी। लाखन सिंह जी, हुआ क्या?
सर अभी आज एक डेढ़ घंटे पहले सूचना मिली थी कि एक बेटी है, 6th क्लास की बच्ची है, वो स्कूल की छत से गिरने का इंजर्ड होकर के मेट्रोमास हॉस्पिटल में भर्ती हुई है। हम लोग वहाँ गए, बच्ची की हालत बहुत गंभीर थी और हमारे जानने से शायद वो डेथ हो चुकी थी। हालांकि डॉक्टर साहब वगैरह सब CPR दे रहे थे उनको। फिर उनके फादर मदर और अन्य जो साथी वो लोग आए, उनके सीनियर अधिकारी हैं, शायद वो लोग बैंक स्टाफ से हैं, उनके मदर फादर, तो वो सभी आ गए थे और अन्य परिजन आए। बेटी की डेथ हो चुकी है तो उसको डीप फ्रीजर में सुरक्षित रखवा दिया है। पेरेंट्स के कंसेंट के बाद जो भी आवश्यक कार्रवाई वो की जाएगी। अब हम मौका देखने आए, मोबाइल फॉरेंसिक यूनिट भी है। अब कई लोग बता रहे हैं कि मौका किधर है, क्या है, तो सब CCTV फुटेज से क्लियर हो जाएगा। स्कूल में
CCTV फुटेज मिला?
एक टीम उनको अलग से देख रही है। अभी ACP साहब आ रहे हैं, उन्होंने ले भी लिए हैं शायद, तो फुटेज अपन देख लें।
ये बहुत ही दुखद घटना है। एक मासूम बच्ची ने ऐसा किया या ऐसा हुआ जो बिल्कुल दुखद घटना है। हमारे लिए एक चिंता का विषय है, नहीं होना चाहिए था। इस सारे प्रकरण की जांच पुलिस तो कर ही रही है, क्या तथ्य आते हैं वो हम देखेंगे, परंतु हम विभागीय जांच हम भी कराएंगे। बात यह है कि ये CBSE बोर्ड का है। हम CBSE बोर्ड के अधिकारियों को बुलाकर बातचीत कर रहे हैं कि इस पर आप भी जांच करें। ये सच है कि NOC हम देते हैं, NOC की कुछ शर्तें होती हैं, उन शर्तों की अनुपालना नहीं हुई होगी तो कठोरतम कार्रवाई करेंगे।
एक जनप्रतिनिधि होने के नाते मैं यहाँ पहुँचा कि क्या जानकारी यहाँ से मैं लूँ कि क्या बच्ची की ज़्यादा लग गई, क्या हुआ। तब मैं मौके पे पहुँचा, तब स्कूल के बच्चों की छुट्टी हो चुकी थी, तो वो जा रहे थे। तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि भाई क्या मामला है, आपकी स्कूल में ऐसा मामला हुआ है क्या? तो उन्होंने बताया भैया एक बच्ची है ना 6 मंजिल से कूद के गिर गई और उसको मेट्रोमास हॉस्पिटल ले जाया गया। तब मैं मेट्रोमास हॉस्पिटल में पहुँचा, तब वहाँ पर डॉक्टरों ने उसे मृत घोषित कर चुका था और उस बच्ची का नाम अमायरा बताया जा रहा है। और उस बच्ची के साथ में जो पढ़ने वाले बच्चे थे उन्होंने बताया कि भैया ये मेंटली परेशान थी, जिसकी वजह से बच्ची कूद के मर गई। 5वीं मंजिल से लेकर और 0 फ्लोर तक, ग्राउंड फ्लोर तक साक्ष्य से धोने का प्रयास करा गया, पानी डाल के साक्ष्य को मिटाने का प्रयास कराया गया।
उनको सामने आना चाहिए। जब घटना हो गई है ना तो हमें बताना चाहिए ना कि हुआ क्या है। कि हम लोग पूरी जिम्मेदारी से इनकी जांच करेंगे और विधिक कार्रवाई करते हुए जो भी नियमानुसार कार्रवाई वो अमल में लाई जाएगी।
भवानी, my colleague now joins us getting us more details. भवानी, जांच पड़ताल चल रही है अभी भी, क्या ये असर्टेन किया गया है कि एग्जैक्टली हुआ क्या था? बताया ये भी जा रहा था कि स्कूल का जो मैनेजमेंट है वो कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहा था प्रोब टीम के साथ।
काफी सारे सीरियस सवाल खड़े हुए हैं। पहला तो ये है कि जो एविडेंस मिटाए गए हैं, पुलिस ऐसे क्या जल्दी थी कि पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किए बगैर बच्ची को जब डेथ के बाद में रवाना किया गया एम्बुलेंस से और वहां से क्लीन कर दिया गया। दूसरा ये हुआ था कि मैनेजमेंट जब एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट की टीम सिस्टम पहुंची, उनको कोऑपरेट करने के लिए भी तैयार नहीं थे, बाकी पुलिस से भी ज्यादा बात करने को तैयार नहीं थे। तीसरी ये कि क्योंकि हर फ्लोर पे एक सिक्योरिटी, क्योंकि स्कूल काफी रेपुटेटेड है, हर CCTV कैमरा, लेकिन एक फ्लोर इंचार्ज होता है, तो उस टाइम वो फ्लोर इंचार्ज कहाँ था? बच्ची ऊपर से नीचे कैसे गई, क्योंकि उसकी क्लास नीचे थी, तो ऊपर कैसे पहुंच गई? जो मंजिल बनी हुई है वो भी काफी ज्यादा है। कई सारे ऐसे फैक्ट्स जो आ रहे हैं जिससे सस्पिशियस बनता जा रहा मामला कि आखिर क्या स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कुछ छुपाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, क्या बच्ची को क्या कुछ टॉर्चर किया गया था? क्योंकि अभी जो पुलिस ने जो उसकी क्लास टीचर थी उसके भी बयान लिए, कुछ टीचर्स के और बयान लिए। एक CCTV के अंदर एक फुटेज नजर आ रहा है जिस टाइम बच्ची ऊपर चढ़ रही है रेलिंग पे और जिस टाइम वो जंप कर रही है उसी वक्त कोई एक साइड में नजर आ रहा है, तो उसकी भी पूछताछ करके कि वो शख्स कौन था और क्या उसने उस वक्त जब वो छलांग लगा रही थी तब देखा था। तो अब ये क्योंकि 8-9 साल की बच्ची है तो ये नहीं कहा जा सकता है कि उसने सुसाइड किया, और भी कुछ कारण हो सकते हैं। तो तमाम चीजों को लेकर पुलिस अभी पड़ताल कर रही है, लेकिन अभी तक पूरी तरीके से जो फैक्ट है पूरा सामने नहीं आया कि आखिर हुआ कैसे। CCTV फुटेज भी कई सारे हैं, पूरे हर फ्लोर के हैं, वो देखे जा रहे हैं और एक एक को मैच कराया जा रहा है कि आखिर ऐसा क्या हुआ कि ऊपर से बच्ची नीचे गई थी, ऊपर गई थी नीचे से और फिर ऊपर से छलांग लगाई। जी
जी भवानी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए and for getting us those details. We'll keep a track of where this investigation leads. But for now, it's time for a quick break on this edition of Nation at 5.
तेजस्वी यादव also did a press conference. उन्होंने बड़ा अनाउंसमेंट किया, हर परिवार में सरकारी नौकरी दें।
ये बोलना ही दिखाता है कि तेजस्वी यादव या तो मूर्ख हैं या पूरे राज्य को मूर्ख बना रहे हैं।
वोट चोरी अभियान आपने राहुल गांधी का देखा होगा, फर्क पड़ेगा?
बिहार में कोई मुद्दा ही नहीं है, आप पूरा बिहार घूम रही हैं, एक व्यक्ति मिला जिसने कहा मेरा वोट गायब हो गया।
आप लोगों को कोई ऐसा कैंडिडेट चाहिए जो जीते भी और फिर जेल भी ना जाए।
क्या करें मैम, यहाँ सांप छुछुंदर का हाल है, ये पट्टी भी बाहुबली, ये पट्टी भी बाहुबली।
This time around, the choices of song is something which is creating a huge talk of the town topic in Bihar and in fact on social media also.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The Indian Heaven Premier League, the T20 cricket tournament taking place in Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir, involving local, national and international players, has encountered significant challenges. Some players are stranded at a local hotel, and reports suggest that organisers have fled the valley. The event, organised by a private company and sponsors, is facing difficulties after several players allegedly boycotted the matches due to unpaid dues, leading to a disruption.
Unfortunately, bills haven't been paid, staff haven't been paid, hotels haven't been paid. The hotel was instructed this morning to lock all doors and leave all players and all staff within the building on instruction from the league. Unfortunately, they have had to carry that out. We are still waiting for the balance to be paid. It's made the rest of the payment. We have come to an agreement with the owners at this moment in time to allow the players home to their families, as obviously they're not getting any money whilst they're here. They haven't been paid themselves, and it's not fair on the players being away from their homes and their families for this long.
That's quite a charge that's coming from one of the English umpires there, going on record talking about unpaid dues. She's also in fact claiming that all of the players have been put on these hotel arrests in Srinagar. The sponsors, the organisers have fled and they have not paid the dues, and that's why the players have refused to be participating in that entire Indian Heaven Premier League tournament. And remember, this is not just about local players. There are international players who have come, national level players who are associated with this particular tournament, but certainly ended up giving a bad name to this entire Premier League that was announced initially, and now is facing too many hurdles, and allegations have been really bad as far as this entire tournament is concerned. If players are coming on record, they're talking about how they have been placed under arrest. They're not even being allowed to go out of Srinagar to go back to their families. My colleague Ishan Vani is now joining us on the broadcast. Ishan, that's a huge claim that has been made by the players. They've gone on record. They're talking about how they are on hotel arrest. Dues have not been paid, not just of the hotels, but also to the players.
Well, absolutely right. The problem stemmed when the league did not see so much of participation of local coming to watch. If you recall, there was a league last year which had a massive crowd. Even tickets and the stadium were sold out, and there was no one, no ticket available for them. So they were banking on the sort of audience that was drawn last year because of the international participation of players like Chris Gale, Sri Lankan players, and also players from Bangladesh were seen that, those players were participating in that event. And now what we have seen, what has happened is that, this year, when the league was going on, it did not draw a massive crowd, and players were left in their hotels, and the hotel was not ready to ask them to leave, and they were stranded in the hotel. Even one of the umpires from we are told of British origin, had to contact embassy to rescue herself from the hotel. And there were other players also who were part of that league who could not actually leave. But local players were also staying in the hotel. And this league, what we have been given to understand, that has become failure. And those who were organizing it were from outside.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nation at 5. India's armed forces have launched a massive joint exercise on the Western Front, showcasing full tri-service integration. Beginning today, Exercise Trishul brings together the Indian Army, Navy and the Air Force in a large-scale, multi-domain war game that stretches from the Arabian Sea to the skies above. This is the first major drill after Operation Sindoor. It will continue until the 13th of November. The Indian Navy, which is leading this year's exercise, has deployed over 20 warships, including INS Vikrant and its carrier battle group. The Air Forces have deployed around 40 fighter jets, including Rafales and Sukhoi 30s. The Army, meanwhile, has put more than 25,000 troops on ground for this exercise.
The idea is to develop systems so that we can do joint planning right from the stage when we are drawing up the conceptual requirements for what we should be doing in a particular exercise, what is it that we want to derive out of the exercise, and then of course put together the assets that are required to participate in the exercise, and then actually execute the exercise on ground. Certainly cyber and information warfare are very important aspects, and therefore we have designed a special cyber exercise as a tri-service element during this phase to run concurrent to the conventional exercises on ground. So that of course will run parallel. Information warfare is again being looked at, and especially how to counter disinformation campaigns. And space assets are going to be central to this exercise. So we will bring together our space assets in terms of surveillance to further refine and to improve the information landscape, as we call it from the marine space, the maritime domain awareness.
Operation Trishul is a joint exercise which has been launched under the Southern Command. It includes Army, Navy and Air Force, and it has got a substantial amount of resources from all three services, including Army, Navy, Air Force. That is number one. It's a joint exercise. Secondly, the time. This is called as the campaigning season, meaning wars are fought during this time. Now what one must understand is, this is nearly after 6 months of Operation Sindoor. This is one of the biggest exercises that has been launched by the Indian Army and the armed forces.
ये जो ऑपरेशन त्रिशूल है, डेफिनेटली ये से बहुत ही स्ट्रेटेजिक है, मैं कहूँगा। तीनों सर्विसेज इंटीग्रेटेड काम कर रही हैं इस एक्सरसाइज में। अंदाजा है करीब 20,000 से ज़्यादा सोल्जर्स पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग विंग से हमारी। तो इन अ वे मेरे विचार से जो पार्लियामेंट अटैक के बाद ऑपरेशन पराक्रम हुई थी हमारी 2001 में, उसमें तो करीब 5 लाख से ज़्यादा मोबिलाइज किए गए थे। वो तो जंग के लिए तैयारी थी। उसके बाद से ये एक वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट एक्सरसाइजेस मानी जाएगी, और इसका सिग्नल तो है डेफिनेटली इस पाकिस्तान को स्ट्रेटेजिक, बट आई थिंक उसके साथ साथ ये हमारी अपनी तैयारी भी है।
जो गुजरात के बॉर्डर में हो रहा है वो एक एक्सरसाइज हो रही है, और ये एक्सरसाइज काफ़ी अरसे तक चलेगी। इस प्रकार की एक्सरसाइज आमतौर पर फौज की तरफ से होती रहती है, लेकिन ये मैं समझता हूँ ये बहुत एक मायना रखती है, क्योंकि रिपोर्ट्स आई थी कि पाकिस्तान सर क्रीक के इलाके में उसने अपनी काफ़ी ट्रूप डिप्लॉयमेंट बढ़ा दी है। मुझे लगता है ये चेतावनी दे रहे हैं भारत की तरफ से। एक तो एक्सरसाइज हो रही है, दूसरी एक चेतावनी भी है पाकिस्तान को कि इस प्रकार की अगर कोई हरकत करते हो तो जिस प्रकार से रक्षा मंत्री ने बताया है, नक्शा बदली हो जाएगा। इसका मतलब हम पाकिस्तान को तोड़ देंगे और इस बार कोई छूट नहीं रहेगी।
Well, in a new feat, Sania Mirza has turned a podcaster now, with IVM serving it up with Sania. In an exclusive chat with CNN News 18 Showshas Titash Chaudhary, the former tennis champion opens up about what drove her to start her own show on zeroing in on pickleball as an anchor for the format. She gets candid on motherhood, the challenges of parenting in the age of social media, paparazzi culture and intense scrutiny.
Sania, we're going to be talking about your latest podcast, IVM's Serving It Up with Sania. How did it really come about? I have to ask you.
Well, a few different ways. It was, I think we both clicked at the same time with our ideas and our brains. And, IVM also trusted the fact that it was the first time I was wanting to do something so different. And I'm super grateful for that. For me, having a podcast was just an extension of my couch conversation with my friends, to be very honest. I didn't want it to be stiff. I didn't want it to be, like, oh my God, like, let me try to get the biggest secrets out of your life. No, I just want to have a conversation because there are sides of people that I see that are off camera, which I feel like deserve to be shown on camera as well. And people deserve to know certain things. So I was like, you know what, let's try and do this. Let's try to make actually a show out of this.
Yeah.
And hopefully we've succeeded with something super fun.
Yeah.
We've added an element of a sport in it, obviously, to try to have extension of myself.
Right.
Which I think is very important because I feel that in this case we have pickleball, and pickleball is a game that everybody loves to play. It's it's the sport of the season, sort of.
Very much in vogue.
Yeah, very much in vogue. So we just try to make it different, like everything in life that I try to do a little differently. So that's what we try to do.
Today, and you're a mother yourself. Do you think parenting in general has gotten more challenging today in the digital era?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, at that time, it was a different set of challenges. It was different. Like, I think every generation comes with its own set of challenges, right? But at that time, we didn't know that we'll be in an era where every move of ours can be photographed every time you step out. That you always have to look spick and span because bhai kahin paps aa jayenge. Like, I don't care so much. I still go out in pajamas. I think that parenting has become harder because there's just so much exposure. And even though my child is still quite young and he's just about to turn 7 actually, I can see a stark difference. So me and my sister are 8 years apart. So I remember her when she was 7, so because I was already 14, 15 by then. So it's almost a generation, 7, 8 years. And I know kids were different then. I can tell the difference. Like from that to how my son speaks now. My son speaks to me like he's a teenager sometimes, the way he's talking to me. There's negotiations happening like for everything under the sun.
तेजस्वी यादव also did a press conference. उन्होंने बड़ा अनाउंसमेंट किया, हर परिवार में सरकारी नौकरी देंगे।
ये बोलना ही दिखाता है कि तेजस्वी यादव या तो मूर्ख हैं या पूरे राज्य को मूर्ख बना रहे हैं।
वोट चोरी अभियान आपने राहुल गांधी का देखा होगा, फर्क पड़ेगा?
बिहार में कोई मुद्दा ही नहीं है। आप पूरा बिहार घूम रही हैं, एक व्यक्ति मिला जिसने कहा मेरा वोट गायब हो गया।
आप लोगों को कोई ऐसा कैंडिडेट चाहिए जो जीते भी और फिर जेल भी ना जाए।
क्या करें मैम, यहाँ सांप छुछुंदर का हाल है। ई पट्टी भी बाहुबली, ई पट्टी भी बाहुबली।
This time around, the choices of song is something which is creating a huge talk of the town topic in Bihar and in fact on social media also.
Gopal. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The Indian Heaven Premier League T20 cricket tournament taking place in Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir, involving local, national and international players, has encountered significant challenges. Some players are stranded at a local hotel, and reports suggest that organisers have fled the valley. The event, organised by a private company and sponsors, is facing difficulties after several players allegedly boycotted the matches due to unpaid dues, leading to a disruption.
Unfortunately, bills haven't been paid, staff haven't been paid, hotels haven't been paid. The hotel was instructed this morning to lock all doors and leave all players and all staff within the building on instruction from the league. Unfortunately, they have had to carry that out. We are still waiting for the balance to be paid. It's made the rest of the payment. We have come to an agreement with the owners at this moment in time to allow the players home to their families, as obviously they're not getting any money whilst they're here. They haven't been paid themselves, and it's not fair on the players being away from their homes and their families for this long.
That's quite a charge that's coming from one of the English umpires there, going on record talking about unpaid dues. She's also, in fact, claiming that all of the players have been put on these hotel arrests in Srinagar. The sponsors, the organizers have fled, and they have not paid the dues, and that's why the players have refused to be participating in that entire Indian Heaven Premier League tournament. And remember, this is not just about local players. There are international players who have come, national level players who are associated with this particular tournament, but certainly ended up giving a bad name to this entire Premier League that was announced initially, and now is facing too many hurdles, and allegations have been really bad as far as this entire tournament is concerned. If players are coming on record, they're talking about how they have been placed under arrest. They're not even being allowed to go out of Srinagar to go back to their families. My colleague Ishan Vani is now joining us on the broadcast. Ishan, that's a huge claim that has been made by the players. They've gone on record. They're talking about how they are on hotel arrest. Dues have not been paid, not just of the hotels, but also to the players.
Well, absolutely right. The problem stemmed when the league did not see so much of participation of local coming to watch. If you recall, there was a league last year which had a massive crowd. Even tickets and the stadium were sold out, and there was no one, no ticket available for them. So they were banking on the sort of audience that was drawn last year because of the international participation of players like Chris Gale, Sri Lankan players, and also players from Bangladesh were seen that, those players were participating in that event. And now what we have seen, what has happened is that, this year, when the league was going on, it did not draw a massive crowd, and players were left in their hotels, and the hotel was not ready to ask them to leave, and they were stranded in the hotel. Even one of the umpires from we are told of British origin, had to contact.
Welcome back to Nation at 5. The Indian women's cricket team scripted history by winning their first ever World Cup, defeating South Africa late last night by 52 runs at a packed DY Stadium in Navi Mumbai. Shefali Verma, who was not even in the reserves until last week, stole the show with 87 runs and crucial 5 wickets. Deepti Sharma and young Sri Karni had also rose to the occasion, helping India overcome pressure to claim this historic victory. Prime Minister Modi hailed the team's achievement as a proud moment for every Indian. In recognition of this historic feat, the BCCI has announced a 51 crore reward for players and the staff.
India's dream finally came true in Navi Mumbai on Sunday night. After years of heartbreak and near misses, Harmanpreet Kaur's fearless team lifted the nation's first ever ICC Women's World Cup trophy. They defeated South Africa by 52 runs in a thrilling final that will be remembered forever. This was not just a win, it was redemption. From the pain of 2005 to the heartbreak of 2017, India had waited for this moment. Batting first, India scored 298 for 7, the second highest total in World Cup history, and bowled South Africa out for 246 in 45.3 overs. With this, India joined Australia, England and New Zealand as the only teams to have won the trophy. The night belonged to 21-year-old Shefali Verma. Recalled to the team after Pratika Rawal's injury, Shefali played the innings of her life, a stunning 87 of 78 balls. Her fearless batting and quick start with Smriti Mandhana set the tone for India's dominance. The pair added 104 runs for the opening wicket, putting South Africa on the back foot right from the beginning. But Shefali wasn't done. With the ball, she turned game changer again. Her twin strikes in the middle overs broke the Proteas' backbone just when Laura Wolfarth's magnificent 98 ball 101 was threatening to turn the tide. At the other end, Deepti Sharma once again stood tall as India's pillar of dependability. Her all-round brilliance, 55 runs and a match-winning 5-wicket haul earned her the Player of the Final award and the distinction of being the tournament's highest wicket taker with 21 scalps. When Harmanpreet caught Nadine de Klerk to end the match, the stadium erupted. The captain fell to her knees, tears of joy in her eyes. In the stands, Rohit Sharma watched with pride, a moment of healing for a nation that had suffered heartbreaks before. For Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami, who paved the path, for Smriti, Jamima and Richa, who carried the torch, this victory belongs to them all. As fireworks painted the Navi Mumbai skyline, one thing was certain. Indian women's cricket had not just conquered the world, it had inspired a new one. November 2nd, 2025. Remember the date. The day the women in blue turned dreams into destiny and wrote India's story in gold.
यास्तिका का ऐसे टीम से चले जाना, दैट वाज अ हार्ट ब्रेकिंग फॉर अस. एंड देन एट दैट स्टेज जब अभी बस हम अच्छा करना ही शुरू करे थे, देन प्रतिका गॉट इंजर्ड. प्रतिका वाज सो पॉजिटिव. आई थिंक सब ने बहुत हर एक चीज़ को पॉजिटिव लिया. बिल्कुल भी ऐसे नहीं सोचा कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, हमारे साथ क्यों हो रहा है. स्टार्टेड टूर्नामेंट स्टार्ट होने से पहले इंजरी, टूर्नामेंट के मिडल में एक बड़ी इंजरी. आई थिंक एवरीबडी वाज सो पॉजिटिव. सब यही सोच रहे थे कि हमारा एंड गोल ये ट्रॉफी है और ट्रॉफी के लिए वी हैव टू की वर्किंग हार्ड फॉर डे एंड नाइट, और उसका रिजल्ट है अभी.
पूरा भारत अपनी क्रिकेट टीम की सफलता से बहुत खुश है. ये भारत का पहला विमेन्स वर्ल्ड कप है. मैं हमारी विमेन क्रिकेट टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं. हमें आप पर गर्व है. आपकी ये सफलता देश के करोड़ों नौजवानों को प्रेरित करेगी.
As a mother, as a woman, we have seen this happen. It's a history in making. As a woman, how do you see that your daughter would be instrumental in shaping and changing the lives of a lot more girls who would look at her and inspire her? How do you see that?
It's amazing, and in my house, always it has been a positive and a productive happenings. Anything happens, we always learn from it. There's nothing to lose. And all the three, even if you see my sons also, they have always, they also are like gem itself. They want to do good to others. They want to be generous. What they have received, people do not get it. So they always are reaching out and making things, bringing joy to the lives of the people. And in cricket, Jemima is doing that because she knows how it has been hard for a girl, especially the struggle she has seen. And now she's very happy that at a time where there were only 400 boys and she was the alone girl cricketer, now there are separate nets for them.
Right. As a coach, as a father, that she's been instrumental in lifting that cup. Everyone has spoken about her all of this while, from her previous struggle of not being able to make it to the top 11 to where she is now. How do you feel as a father and as a coach?
See, everybody has their own choice. I always thought that she is the best.
Today you're happy.
And today I'm happy because if you are a gem, people will come in search of you. You don't have to run after people. People will run after you.
Was there any message that you gave to her before she went to play yesterday's match or before she was getting into this whole tournament to motivate her to be what she is today?
I just gave her when we were playing the mighty Australians. Okay. So I just told her attitude. One word, attitude. And I gave her example of Sir Dhoni. Okay. In the whole World Cup, he did not perform, but last match he went and performed and won the World Cup for India. Attitude. Have that attitude, you can defeat anybody.
As a brother, what was your first moment when we saw that at midnight yesterday that this finally happened for us?
Oh, I couldn't stop shouting. I was jumping, I was shouting, I was elated. It was happiness and relief at the same time because I know this has been such a long journey, not only for Jemima, the entire cricket team. We've come so close so many times. But this time we actually made it on the other side. So it was a big sigh of relief. Yeah.
ਸਾਨੂੰ पूरी टीम से बड़ा गर्व फील हो रहा है क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप जीतना बहुत बड़ी बात है खासकर लड़कियों के लिए और कल से बड़ी खुशी का माहौल है खुशी एंजॉय किया मतलब जो भी उसको मेडल मिला उसने हमारे गले में डाला
पहले उसका डे 1 से था कि इंडियन टीम के लिए हमने सिलेक्ट होना है जिस दिन से सिलेक्ट हुई है तब से यही था कि वर्ल्ड कप सो रोल मॉडल एज इन आइडलाइज तो वो शेन वॉर्न को करते थे महेंद्र सिंह धोनी को बहुत आइडलाइज किया उन्होंने अपने इन्हीं की वजह से उसका है उसका मन कर बीइंग अ लेग स्पिनर उसको शेन वॉर्न बहुत अच्छा लगा
Shifting focus now to the world of entertainment, Ayushmann Khurrana is riding high on the success of Thama, his 5th film to cross the 100 crore mark at the box office. In an exclusive chat with CNN News 18 show Titash Chaudhary, he says that he was narrated the script of Thama even before Stree 2 and Bhedia happened. He spells out his favourite scene from the film, also shedding light on his bromance with Varun Dhawan. Listen in to that exclusive conversation.
History has repeated itself with Thama. What does this 100 crore club, this figure mean to you personally, professionally?
It just means that the validation from public has come, and that's the biggest kind of validation for an artist. And it's very gratifying more than anything else because you want to reach out to as many people as possible. And Thama has reached out to those many people, so it's wonderful.
Absolutely. So I mean, this is something very different, which we haven't seen you in. At the same time, you are known to really push the boundary, experiment with your characters, with films. Do you think this kind of a success that Thama has given you, it somewhere gives you the chance to push the boundary more, experiment more, or do you feel the weight of the pressure?
I think it's a good pressure. That expectation is a very happy expectation, that there should be an expectation from an artist. And of course, it's my biggest commercial film. In terms of budget and everything and the release date, it pushes me more to do films that are off center. It probably catapults those kind of films more. I firmly believe like a film like Badhai Ho really catapulted a film like Article 15.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good symbiotic relationship between these genres, and it further makes me more brave and courageous to choose subjects which are rare and unique.
And it's a delight for us, definitely, as audiences. The more you take risks, it's better for us, I think.
For everyone, I think it's a mutual this thing.
Yeah. So, Thama, interestingly, is your first Diwali release, right? And I mean, we have all grown up watching, big stars coming up, during Diwali releases. When you got to know that this is going to get a holiday release like that, was it a big validation of your stardom, if I may say?
Yeah, you've rightly said. I've only seen superstars coming on Diwali, and it was like a ritual in my family to watch a film during this festival season, and this time around it was my film, so it was very surreal and overwhelming experience taking my family to theatres and watching my own film. So I think that was beautiful, and we got the opening also because it's a festival time and people want to watch films, and they accepted it, and I'm glad that happened. So I don't know, it was just another box to be ticked, and it has happened with me, and Thama has been dhamakedar.
Yes, true.
बिल्कुल नर्वस नहीं हूँ बेशक मेरे लिए चैलेंजिंग है लेकिन मैं हर एक चैलेंज उतनी मजबूती के साथ एक्सेप्ट करती हूँ
आपको लगता है पॉसिबल है हर घर में एक सरकारी नौकरी
वो बोल रहे हैं उसके साथ बता भी रहे हैं
तो आप उम्मीद रखते हैं कि मिल सकती है
बिल्कुल उम्मीद
अच्छा
आपने तो मुस्लिम सीएम बनाने का दावा किया था उस पे
सुनिए अब जिसको घर में मोहब्बत नहीं मिलती है ना तो हम पे गिर जाता है
अपने मैनिफेस्टो में कहा है कि अगर वो सत्ता में आते हैं तो वो वक़्फ़ जो है उसको रद्द कर देंगे
इनकी हैसियत है क्या
They'll evade, deflect.
I will chase, dissect.
You're choosing, demanding.
I'm confronting.
Decoding. No spins, fabrications.
I break news.
And revelations.
I track.
Pursue. I drill down. Cut through.
You trust.
Decide. Together we will rise.
Follow the most comprehensive coverage of the battle for Bihar with the best team in English news. Only on CNN News 18.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. In a moment of sheer brilliance and unyielding belief, India's women's cricket team etched their name in history, lifting their maiden ICC Women's World Cup title last night with a commanding 52